What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gerald from Bank of Gerald here with another video update. Today is Thursday, July the 14th, 2022. And I want to do just a quick update on the whole Metafi yielder situation with the refunds, right? So before I get started this, I want to remind you all that I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I am not your financial advisor, all right? I'm just a dude on YouTube showing you guys how I'm cranking out that crypto in many different platforms, nothing more and nothing less than that. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. If you want to be notified about everything going on here at BLJ, including stuff like this, make sure you hit the bell, all right? So the last video that I did on Metafi yielders, I was expressing to people that there was a team of people, actually even here in the US, that were attempting to get the refunds back. They had been in communication with Michael, and whether it was Michael or his team, or there's a few people out there that have been in communication with him that were trying to get refunds back, all right? So I had put out a video and I sent it, I shared the Google Docs form, which also gave access to people that never even got into Metafi yielders to make Google Forms and send stuff in, which I can imagine made it extremely tough for refunds if they were going to happen in the first place. But what was said in the Metafi yielders investors group that is on Facebook, there's a few people that are leading that charge on there, and they said that Michael said that he's going to be stopping refunds. Okay, he's going to be stopping that because people are still trying to attack him and his family and these things like that. And we've been talking about this for the last month or so now about what's going on. And the first thing I want to say is that in this space that we're talking about, these crypto platforms, these crypto investments, some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but when a platform goes away, it usually is done, right? Now, this was different because it had a face, it had a name, it had people corresponding, it had communication. Even I did an interview with Michael Daher and gave him the opportunity to express to the people what this was. Some of you may remember in that interview, I talked to him about a similar situation with a company called Futures Trade that was around in December timeframe, and it did a very similar thing. It gained a lot of popularity because it was a face and a name, and people built a lot of trust in this platform, in that face and in that name, that they deposited large sums of money that they could not afford to lose. And that, to me, is almost like a rite of passage in this space. Now, some people may look at me crazy when I say this, all right? But for those of you that will decide not to quit in this space after this whole Metafi yielder situation, you'll have a story similar to mine. My very first platform, and I speak about this often, well, not maybe as often as I should, but my very first platform, I deposited 30 grand in. All right. This is before I had a YouTube channel. This is before all of that. Some of the last videos, some of the first videos I did on this channel are in the last days of that platform. So if you want to go back and check it out, you can go check it out. It's in the first few videos that I've done. The platform is called Watermine. And I had over leveraged myself because I thought that this platform was going to be here forever. It didn't have a face like Metafi yielders did. It was just a platform that had been working and had been paying instantly, and I had not seen anything like it. It was one of those things that encouraged me to start my YouTube channel, because I told myself, I said, well, one, people need to see this stuff, because when the platform is working, it's life-changing. But when it went away, when it stopped paying, I had to make a decision. I had to decide whether this space is going to be somewhere I continue to put my money and time in. Do I really want to start a YouTube channel and deal with all these trolls and haters, all the stuff that I'm dealing with right now, where people saying that I am a part of Metafi yielders or some crazy stuff like that? Like that's could be further from the truth. What I did was, in Metafi yielders, what I did was I deposited my own money. I did an interview with the CEO like many other people did, and I decided to continue to do like I'm doing right now and share my journey in the platform. Nothing more, nothing less than that. Now, people will get upset with me and they'll say, well, you made so much money from referral commissions. you know, all this other stuff that goes with that. Some people think that I ought to be sharing my referral commissions with the world and be giving you all the money that I've earned from this platform. And I'm sure if another platform goes away, y'all say the same thing. I just want to let all you know that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen. It does not mean that I'm complicit with the platform or that I even agree with what it's doing. I don't agree that platforms should be here today and gone tomorrow. That's just the fact of the space. All right. There are plenty of platforms that are here today and gone tomorrow. There are plenty of platforms that are here today and gone today. And the fact that we were able to find a platform that paid as long as it did, Metafi yielders did better than 95% of the platforms in this space. Okay. Some of us don't even know what the names of 95% of the platforms of the space are. Trust me, I know there's way more platforms because thousands of people send me platforms every day to talk about. Different ones, not even the same ones, different ones. And they have, those people didn't put no skin in the game. Some of them just seen it and thought it looked cool and just sent it to me. Some of them are admin from these different places and different platforms, and they have no intention on paying you at all. So this is just a lesson in this space, ladies and gentlemen. I hope people take this as a lesson. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that are seeking help from the law. They're going to the police, whether it's in Australia, whether it's here, they're going to the CIA or the FBI, all these different things. And they may wonder why BLJ isn't, okay? You can have your own opinion about why I'm not, but I'm just going to tell you why I'm not, because I am not going to spend that time and effort that I could be looking for the next best thing, continue to pour into the platforms that I have here that are paying, giving them the attention that they deserve, platforms that have been around for years, that I just don't talk about or didn't talk about as much as Metafi Yielders, because Metafi Yielders was exciting while it was here, right? It was paying 1 to 3.3%. Then they added that 4.2%. And a little bit of this is fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Because when I saw that 10% plan, not 10%, the $10,000 4.2% plan, I should have knew based on the last experience with futures trade that that was a money grab. All right. That's exactly what that was. The plans were set up. Michael said himself, we don't have any need to add a new plan. But what tends to happen in this space is people want new plans. People want higher plans. And when things are working for a week, 2 weeks, then they're, hey, can we get a 4% plan if we put more money? What if we have $50,000? Can we get more money from that? And people ask for these things. Okay. It's not just a decision that is made, or it could be just a decision that is made by the CEOs of these platforms to add different plans and stuff like that. But it usually is something that is asked for by the people. All right. And this can be from people that don't understand the space. It could be a little bit naive in the space. They could have had experiences in other platforms that they were able to deposit more money and earn a higher rate. That stuff happens in the space, but it doesn't guarantee that a platform is going to be here for the long haul. All right. That is why, there's another reason why we say all the time, never invest anything that you're not willing to lose. And that is not solely because you don't want to lose money. I think that any of us would be willing to lose $100,000 to earn $1 million. I think that any of us, if we had $100,000 and somebody said to us, hey, would you be willing to lose that $100,000 for the chance to earn $1 million or 2 million or $1 billion or some crazy number? All right. I think most of us would make that decision. And that's why some of us decide to put in large amounts of money. But we have to make sure that mentally we are prepared to lose it as soon as it leaves our wallets, ladies and gentlemen. When our crypto leaves our wallet, right, and it goes into this platform, it is no longer ours. Okay, especially in a platform like this where they were making guarantees. All right, they're talking about 3.3% or 1% or 4.2% daily, right? A lot of platforms that we are in, they make sure they let you know past performance is not indicative of future results. Okay, so just because a platform did 2% yesterday or last week doesn't mean it's going to do 2% this week or today. All right. There's so much to unpack from this experience with Metafi yielders. With the CEO, I've even seen some video of him still talking to people, still talking to a guy named Tim. I'm not exactly I don't know exactly where he's from, but a lot of people filled out that Google Doc. And the main thing that I wanted to accomplish from this video is just to update people on how that has gone. Apparently, refunds has stopped since then. Okay, and I know I haven't been here for the last couple of days, but refunds have stopped since then. I'm sure names are continuing to be added to that list, and a lot of the people that put in that work to help the people get refunds, it's a frustrating time for those people. And I definitely understand. I get it, because when you're trying to help the community, when you're trying to help people get refunds back, and you may not understand the space as much, right? You may have thought this was the best thing since sliced bread. I've been there with you. My very first platform, like I said, I put 30K in, and I had not been in this space. I had just worked really hard to earn every bit of that 30K. I worked every day, and every day I was buying crypto with the money that I had worked for that day. And I just threw it into this platform every day. It was my bank for 3 months. That water mine was my bank for 3 months. And I can imagine how for some of you, Metafi yielders felt like your bank for 2 months or a month and a half, or however long it lasted for you. Felt like it could be an opportunity for you to really create some financial freedom. And what I want to let everybody know is, in this space, there are still legit opportunities, and we're looking for them every single day. We feel like we have found a few on the channel. So, I talk about them as much as I can, but Metafi yielders really caught the attention of the masses because of the presence that it had, right? It had a CEO that was talking, and leaders that were doing Zoom calls with the CEO. But one thing I really wanted to make sure that people understood, even in the midst of this process, that platforms can be here today and gone tomorrow. No matter what Michael Daher was saying, I know for a fact that what was coming out of my mouth was that, hey, this has been a good run. It's been great, but make sure, all right, manage your risk and withdraw as much as you can, okay, while this was going on. And of course, that this platform could be here today and gone tomorrow. Nobody knows the day nor the hour, okay? So I hope that those of you that are deciding to stay strong in this space, stay encouraged, because there are good platforms out here that you can trust bringing to your family and friends. We have found them, all right? NOVATECH is out here. I mean, Elevate Pass has been here for a year. NOVATECH has been out here. It's in its 4th year right now, just celebrated 3-year anniversary. So if you don't know about NOVATECH, if you don't know about Funds, I mean, Funds has a whole, I want to call them a coalition of leaders, right? That's 6 of them. They're accountable to each other. Some are here in the United States, some are abroad, but they're accountable to each other, and they're always doing Zoom calls, and they are continuing to pay out. And there's just many platforms. Even if you're into the higher risk stuff, there are plenty of platforms out here to still play around in, but treat it like the casino, all right? And you never take your house money, you never take your rent money, you never take your baby's food money, your college money, nothing like that to the casino, okay? And if you do, you might have a little bit of a problem, all right? So seek help for that. But you can't win unless you play the game. So that's both sides to the equation, that's both sides to the scenario. And this whole Metafi yielder situation, I understand that there's a lot of you that may be in this platform space for the first time ever, and this was not a great first experience for you, okay? I get that. I was there a year ago, all right? But in the midst of dealing with that, for me, I had to make some decisions, and I'm not going to tell any of you what to do, because that's not how I roll. But what I chose to do is I chose to create a YouTube channel. I started talking about my opinion, my journey, and all that different stuff. And it opened up so many new doors for me to open, peek through, and learn from. Not every door I opened from that point was a good experience door. Some of those things I had to learn from. Many of you cannot say that you've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in this space. Some of you can, but I know I can definitely say that I have lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in this space, but yet I'm going to choose to continue to press on forward because I've made way more than I've lost. And that is because of the position that I've put myself in. And many of you may be scared to put yourself out there. You may be scared to put yourself in a better position to win in this space. And that's okay. But just understand that your losses might be more frequent than mine or that other YouTubers that you see. YouTubers get a lot of flack, all right? Even from people that are still sharing the opportunity, but just haven't decided to get on YouTube yet. Even they give us flack. They're like, well, we're not YouTubers and we don't get big commissions like you guys. And I don't know if that's to make us feel bad or not, or what the case is, but all we have chosen to do as YouTubers is decide that, well, for me, I'll make that decision. I'll speak for myself. My network of people in my community, in my circle outside of YouTube, they don't see the bigger picture of financial freedom. So I had to broaden my horizons and get out in front of the world so that people could hear that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to achieve financial freedom and to achieve wealth for not only me, but for my family. And this journey is a part of that for me. And some of you are taking similar journeys. You're just not on the YouTube space. So this video may inspire you to start your own channels. I know a few people have reached out to me and said, hey, BOJ, you inspired me to start my own channel. I want to congratulate all of you for taking that leap of faith, whether you're out here showing your face or not, because it's not about us trying to take advantage of anybody. This is about getting out in front of new people. This is about sharing opportunities, whether they're good or bad. And I know a lot of YouTubers that don't show up when things go bad. They just move on to the next. I promise you, I will continue to move on to the next. But when things get bad, I'm not afraid to raise my hand and say, hey, look, things didn't go well here. Here's what didn't go well. Here's how we can learn for the future. Here's how we can do better for the future. Those of you that are going to continue to go on this journey, let's continue to go on the journey. For those of you that are going to decide to stay back and not hop on the train right now, maybe you need some time to regroup yourself. Maybe you need some time to get your emotions intact and get yourself back together, your finances back in order, whatever you have to do. But if you're not quitting, just know the BOJ is going to be here. For those of you that decide that this is not for you, I commend you for making that choice and decision for your family, because this is not going to be for everyone. This space is not going to be for everyone. And quite frankly, there are some of us that win more than others because of the position that we put ourselves in. So that's just being upfront. That's just being honest and frank. I wanted to do this update on Metafi yielders. It's a little bit of a BOJ speaks as well, but I wanted people to understand one thing, that in this space, right, refunds are slim to none, especially in a platform that is putting out guarantees and all these different things, that they're promising people this and they're promising people that. A lot of the platforms that have stood the test of time, they don't make a whole lot of promises. They tell you, hey, this is what we did this week. This is what we did today. This is not a guarantee that it's going to be like this tomorrow, but we're doing everything that we can do to stay sustainable. All right. And we all know that the best ability in this space is indeed availability. And if a platform is available and working for us, it's going to continue to get talked about in a positive light. But if the platform decides to do what Metafi yielders did, which is pretty much come to all of us in this big grandiose way, and then just decide to dip out on us, and start throwing the blame around, then there's not much we can get accomplished with platforms like that. Even if we make a few dollars in the time that we are in it, if we are not able to continue to make money, if the people that are watching us and the people that are involved in the journeys with us, if they're not having success, the platform's not going to have success. And for those of you out there that may be considering starting your own platforms, that are looking at what Metafi yielders did, and maybe you want to start something that combats what Metafi yielders did to the community, just understand that being available is the best attribute that you can have in a platform. No, regardless of what it's paying out, it can pay 0.2%. But if it's available to pay that 0.2, then that's what it's all about. And that availability can span for 3 months, it can span for 3 years, it can go for 10 years. Crypto isn't going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. And that's just my opinion, but that's just based on what I've seen in the space. So I know I've talked long enough, but the main things that I want to mention is that the refunds apparently have stopped in the Metafi yielders investor community where they were trying to get refunds. I want to let everyone know that refunds don't happen in this space very often. Maybe from a PAMM account, maybe from a hedge fund, but not from a hype. And since we all know that Metafi yielders has turned out to be a hype, even though we all were bamboozled and we thought that it was going to be our opportunity to get a part of yield farming, which is something that is real, just wasn't really happening with Metafi yielders. And it's a shame, but it's just how the cookie crumbled with this one. And we move on. As far as BOJ is concerned, we'll continue to move on and move forward. And I'm excited about the future regardless of what one platform does. That is why we stay diversified. That is why we continue to look for opportunities and platforms in the space. We don't stop. We may decide that we have enough opportunities. Like right now, I'm probably not going to add another opportunity for a little while, but I might change my mind. That's up to my discretion. But one thing I will never do is tell anybody what to do with their crypto. All right. All I will ever do is show you what I have decided to do with mine, how I've decided to place it in platforms, and I'm going to document that journey, whether you join me or not. All right. That is what I have committed to do. I wasn't always getting a whole bunch of money in commissions when I started my YouTube journey. I was at one point just investing in platforms and either winning or losing, but I continue to move forward. All right. So with that being said, please put your 2FA on all the platforms that will allow you and all your wallets, because crypto is indeed the wild, wild west. And if you ain't strapped, you're bound to get hacked. Ask me how I know. It is not very fun at all. If you like this content, hit subscribe. You want to be notified about everything going on here at BOJ. Make sure you hit the bell, and I will see y'all in the next one. This is probably my last Metafi yielders update, unless something else happens crazy in this space. My heart goes out to everyone that lost, but let's try to see it as a learning lesson, not a loss. For those of you that are going to be continuing in this space, you know that BOJ is always going to be looking for the platforms that pay, right? And for those of you that are not, then I wish you the best in your future endeavors. Peace out. See you in the next one.